All right, welcome to AI Pulse. It's Friday, January 30th, 2026, and here's your essential snapshot of what's happening in the world of artificial intelligence.
So yeah, AI is doing our shopping, it's shaking up Wall Street, and it's even taking prisoners. It's really incredible when you think about the scope of it. So let's dive in, and we'll start with the technology that's a little closer to home, the stuff that's right there in your pocket.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about personal AI. The stuff you interact with every single day is getting a massive upgrade. And I'm not just talking about little tweaks here and there. We're talking a complete rethink of how you search, how you create, and even how you shop.
And leading the charge, you've got Apple. They're finally giving Siri the huge overhaul we've all been asking for. Internally, the project is called Campos, and the goal is to basically transform Siri from a simple tool for voice commands into a truly intelligent AI chatbot that can actually go head-to-head with something like ChatGPT.
Think about what that really means. We're moving way beyond just asking for the weather or setting a timer. We're talking about having natural, human-like conversations with your phone. You could ask it to analyze a spreadsheet for you, generate an AI image on the fly, or even get help with some coding. And the key is that it's all going to be deeply baked into the entire Apple ecosystem. Your photos, your mail, the whole shebang.
Now, Apple's not the only one. Over at Microsoft, they're looking at our daily habits too, but through a different lens. Shopping. They're working to turn their AI Copilot into your own personal shopper. The idea is actually pretty brilliant in its simplicity. Just make shopping feel like a natural conversation.
So picture this. Instead of opening a dozen browser tabs, you just ask Copilot, hey, find me the best headphones under $200. It gives you a full breakdown, pros, cons, everything. And then, boom, there's a buy button right there in the chat. You never even have to leave the conversation. And get this, even before they fully rolled out these buy buttons, Microsoft is already seeing this process slash the time it takes for someone to make a purchase by about 30%. That's huge.
All right, so from our pockets and shopping carts, let's zoom way out. Let's talk about the big money, the great AI gamble. Because on Wall Street, there's this massive trillion-dollar bet being placed on AI. But patience is starting to wear pretty thin.
I mean, the market is on fire. The S&P 500 just blew past 7,000 for the very first time. And what's driving it? Pure, unfiltered AI optimism. Investors are just pouring money into tech, betting that AI is going to be the next massive growth engine for the whole economy.
But, and this is a big but, Wall Street's patience is really starting to run out. The honeymoon phase seems to be over. It's not enough to just talk about the amazing potential of AI anymore. Now, investors want to see the cold, hard cash. They're basically asking, okay, show me the money.
And there is no better example of this than what just happened to Microsoft. Their stock took an absolute nosedive, dropping almost 12% in a single day. I mean, that's its worst day in nearly 6 years. We're talking hundreds of billions of dollars of value just gone, wiped out.
So, what happened? Why the sudden panic? It all comes down to this number, $37.5 billion. That's how much Microsoft spent in one single quarter just on AI infrastructure, data centers, chips, you name it. That spending is up 66% from last year. And that huge number, which some analysts are starting to call the AI tax, it completely spooked the market. Investors are looking at that and thinking, whoa, when are we ever going to see a profit from all this spending?
And this table just lays it out perfectly. It's a tale of two different AI strategies. On one hand, you have Microsoft. Stock plummets. Why? Because their huge spending on Azure infrastructure didn't quite meet the sky-high expectations. But then you look at Meta. Their stock jumped 9% on the same day. The difference? Meta was able to draw a direct line from their AI investments to a 24% boost in revenue from their ad business. The message from Wall Street couldn't be clearer. We'll give you the money to build, but you better show us it's making money right now.
Okay, so AI is not just about code and data centers anymore. It's breaking out of the digital world and into reality itself. And this is where things get really wild. We're talking about AI not just on screens, but in the physical and creative worlds.
I mean, listen to this. For the very first time in human history, an autonomous combat robot has taken prisoners of war, all by itself. No, this isn't a movie plot. This is real, and it just happened on the front lines in Ukraine. The company that makes the robot, DevDroid, didn't mince words. They said, this is what modern war looks like. Robots are on the front line, humans are safe. Just let that sink in for a second. This isn't just a new weapon. It's a fundamental change in how warfare could be conducted.
So this machine, the Droid TW7.62, it used its own AI to find, lock onto, and track these soldiers until they surrendered, all without a human pulling a trigger or giving a direct command in that moment. It's proof that these ground combat robots are no longer theoretical. They work, and this opens up a whole new, very complicated chapter for the world.
But at the exact same time that AI is being used for conflict, it's also being used for creation. So let's pivot for a second, all the way over to Malaysia, where AI is seriously disrupting the film industry.
Check this out. A film called Pirate Queen just hit theaters. What's special about it? It's the world's first feature-length film generated by AI to get a real theatrical release. This is a game changer. Think about it. You could make movies in a fraction of the time. But even more interesting, you could create hyper-specific, localized content for all kinds of different audiences, something that was just way too expensive to even consider before. So, let's recap. We've got AI on our phones, it's shaking up Wall Street, it's on the battlefield, it's in our movie theaters. So, where does it go next? Well, for our last story, we're looking up, because the next frontier for AI infrastructure isn't on Earth at all.
It's a concept called orbital compute, and it sounds like science fiction, but it's very real. It's the idea driving a potential mega merger between two of Elon Musk's companies, SpaceX and xAI. And the plan? To literally move the giant data centers that power AI off the planet.
You might be thinking, why on earth would you do that? Well, the logic is actually pretty genius when you break it down. What are the two biggest problems for massive data centers on Earth? Power and cooling. In space, you have unlimited solar energy, a constant power source. And for cooling, you have the infinite freezing cold vacuum of space. It's the perfect heat sink. It basically solves the two biggest bottlenecks holding back AI's growth right here on the ground.
And the scale of this ambition is just mind-blowing. They're talking about a potential merger and IPO that could value this new company at $1.5 trillion. Put that in perspective, that would instantly make it one of the most valuable companies on the planet. This is way more than a cool science project. It's a plan to build the entire infrastructure for the future of AI. In orbit.
So there you have it. We've seen AI go from our phones to our wallets to the battlefield. And now, the next logical step seems to be leaving the planet entirely. It really leaves you with a huge question to think about, right? If AI is already changing our world this much when it's physically here with us, what happens when its brain is in the stars?